Yes. But we're good. You're good.
Okay, say it again. For Debra.
I just loved the imagery of the heat in Robert's eyes and how that was just over and over. She kept using that image in the movie, and then she just kept playing the memory in her head. And I'm like, this is so powerful.
It's great.
The sensory details in here are just gorgeous. Just, you know, the plush theater seat, the silver flickering countdown, the thin line of Robert's mouth, just so lovely. And it's almost like poetry because she doesn't use, and that's the thing with short stories, you don't have, like you're not George R. Martin, you don't have 2,000 pages to tell the story. So she really has to be very sparse with her description, but sparse does not mean you can't be, you know, give it, even the yellow of the dress, it just, it just,
I love that.
Yeah, yellow is a sunflower. It's not much, but it just gives us bang. We've got that exact shade in our head. We know it, and just fresh out of my suitcase. Just you know what that, like, you're instantly there. So yeah, I think her sensory details are just gorgeous. Even the actions of the main character, you can sense her frustration with the drive. They've already done this drive back and forth from the city to the suburbs. Like, seriously, all of us who live around here, we know how bad the drive is. And she's drumming her fingers on the wheel. Just little tiny character notations that give you that sense of, oh yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and even with her daughter bumping her legs against the seat,
Yes.
and then she just touching her to calm her down. Sorry.
Yes.
And like that was just. I just think that her imagery and her sensory details are so powerful.
And I think that's what, like, I really like in this story because, like, it's very showing, it's not telling, and that's why I had such an easy, good, like, time connecting with Jenny. Because I've definitely drummed my fingers on the steering wheel before and things like that. So it was definitely really relatable in that way.
Good verisimilitude.
Yeah, I kind of combined what you guys said, and I talked about, like, I love the characterization of, like, Robert and Jenny, and, like, even Valerie. Even by the end, we get a very clear picture of Valerie, and she's just, like, the little kid who's just along for the ride, kind of. But we know that she's, like, really inquisitive and, like, curious, and she's going to, like, a new school. So, like, we get so much about these characters, and, like, the way that Debra does it is just, like, so, like, easy, and like we barely even notice it. So by the end, we're like, oh, I feel like I like live next door to these people.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and along with what you said about the daughter, I think her presence in the story is a brilliant one because for all of your homework today, you had to choose 3 characters and put them in a confined space instead of just 2, right? Here, I'll remember that. That conflict is way more complex when it's a 3-way conflict, right? People can make alliances, people can decide to be angry at one person while not being angry at the other. And I think that choice of a trio here works really well because Jenny doesn't want to ruin any of this experience for her daughter, right? She wants the move to go well for her. But at the same time, she's pissed off at her husband. So she's got to maintain that anger while still being a good mom. That's fascinating. Because there are things she has to give up in each relationship to do that well.
I love to see that switch where she'd be like real pissed and then, oh, that's on.
Right.
You can't really be mad at her.
Right.
You gotta like calm her down and tell her I'm not actually mad at you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine, and that's that silence where she's not kicking anymore.
And it can be seen in the way that she does talk to Valerie. I think there was one point she was thinking about the fight with Robert, and then Valerie interrupts and asks a question, and then she kind of snaps at her, and then she apologizes, like, I'm sorry, type thing.
Some good dialogue too in that sense. I mean, we should compliment the dialogue.
It's so, and there's not much.
No.
If you typed up all the dialogue in this story, it wouldn't even take up a page, I don't think. Yeah, it would be very minimal. But, and even the voice, the only time, like we only hear Robert's voice, I think twice. I think he says, you can take Val, I plan on meeting up with the boys. And then we get the line, and this is like one of the most telling lines in the whole piece, where he says, what did you expect, Jenny, huh? A party? He said, spreading his arms wide. We didn't just move, we left Billy for this Mayberry. There ain't nothing but white faces on the whole damn street. Bam. And that one line carries with it so much weight, because you can see that it almost makes you wonder who really wanted to move. Was it Jenny?
Yeah.
Was it Robert?
Yeah.
You know, they both committed to it. They both made the move, but it feels in that moment that Robert is mad at her for not understanding why they've been abandoned. And it's amazing how in just my gosh, it's like 3 lines, and that is giving you such huge emotional weight, and it helps us understand why Jenny is feeling so that she's questioning everything right now.
Yeah, I thought with that, that was like one of my favorite parts within the story, and I love the fact that all of this was like in Jenny's head.
Yes.
Like that was in Jenny's head.
Yes.
Which also confused me a little bit, but the fact that we don't have the other side of the conversation, the fact that there's this silence that's standing for Jenny, and we have her thoughts, but even like when she talks to Robert in the beginning, like she doesn't respond to him how she wants to.
Right.
And there's a lot stated within that silence that then just like builds up. And I thought also like Robert's manner of speaking really built him as a character too. But I think just the way that it's just very, like, we only have one side of the conversation, but we have all her emotions is a really